What I have just told you both is the honest truth from the information I gathered while listening in on Regina.
Thank you, Victoria. A deal is a deal. You found out what was wrong with Regina, so now you are free to return to your security guard duties.
About time.
Sometimes I feel like that girl shows unprofessionalism on the job.
At least Victoria gave us what we needed to know about Regina. So, what do you think?
I don't know. Regina and Keisha's hatred in the first place was their own doing. They chose not to learn from their mistakes.
Keisha especially. I can still remember that day, when she was finally taken out of our hairs. Do you remember it?
How could I not? It was the day Keisha and Regina returned to school, after serving 2 months' worth of suspension. And the same day, when Keisha was caught red-handed, for a murder plot. Something that nobody, not even us, foresaw coming.
We thought serving time in prison would finally give Keisha the much-needed wake-up call, and make her turn her life around, while also teaching her a very valuable lesson. But it sounds like Keisha chose a darker approach instead, and decided to take her own life. It's making sense now why Regina has made things so difficult. All this time, Regina's had to deal with the aftermath of Keisha's suicide, both physically and emotionally.
But Regina didn't show those kinds of emotions last school year. Remember? She still remained her bratty self.
Probably because Keisha's suicide had not happened yet. It had to have been just recently. I say we take a chance on this one and help Regina.
But Jace.
But nothing, Mimi.
Let me finish. I was going to say, Regina's made things very difficult for us for years. She has to prove herself that she's changing for the better.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that statement. But don't you think it's fair that Regina deserves getting some help first, before she gets a chance to prove herself? She can't prove anything to us or anyone if she's struggling both physically and emotionally.
I'm sorry. Everything that's happened with Regina over the years has played in my head over and over again. Regardless of all the damages she's caused over the years, she really does need help. Because nobody should be living their life with those feelings.
Regina said to me that she feels like she doesn't deserve our help at all, after everything she's done. Maybe we can convince her otherwise, and I know where we start. We go and visit Keisha. At her grave. And we pay our respects to her. It's both the proper, and the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Regina.
Just get it over with and yell at me for skipping class. I deserve it.
Principal Moonlight and I visited Keisha's grave.
You did what?
I said, Principal Moonlight and I visited Keisha's grave.
We found out what happened to her, and paid our respects. We also know she's the reason why you've had your sudden change. But you got to fill in more pieces of the puzzle, to help paint a bigger picture. We want to hear about this from your perspective.
The last time I saw Keisha in person, was a few months ago, when I went to visit her in prison. Then a week later, I found out about her suicide through one final 3-page suicide note that she mailed to me.
Did what happened to Keisha give you a wake-up call?
I guess you could say that it did. But the worst part about it all, was when Keisha's parents and siblings put all of the blame on me for Keisha's suicide. When the time finally came for Keisha's funeral, I was expecting something good to come out of it, being there to pay my respects, and you know what almost all of those family members said to me? Your history. We don't want you around our family again. There was a lot left in Keisha. She never got a chance to show. I keep Keisha's suicide note, to remind me never to go back to my old ways. I just never expected that anyone would care, or bother to listen to how I was feeling. You two don't even know what it's like to lose someone so close to you commit suicide.
You're right, Regina. Principal Moonlight and I don't know what it's like.
But we know someone who does. Her name is Phoebe Perez. You might have seen her around the school with Cassandra Polinsky. Miss Perez lost her best friend to suicide back in 6th grade.
So while we may not know personally what it's like losing someone to suicide, we do understand how hard it can hurt. Now we're going to cut right to the big question, Regina. Do you want our help in getting through this? You say yes and you can get whatever kind of help we can offer, but in exchange have to prove that you're 100% throwing away your old self and willing to turn over a new leaf.
Or, you can say no, decline this offer entirely, and be completely stuck. Those are your only options, Miss Harmon. So, what's it gonna be?
I may never get an opportunity like this again. I say yes to the offer.
Very well. Whatever help you want, you will get. Perhaps there's some hope for you after all.
Showtime. And it starts with Phoebe's locker.